Hi everyone. So as usual, type hi as soon as you join. Right. So I'll just give a benefit of 2-3 minutes for others to join so that we can start today's session. So I hope the others also have made an attempt to complete the assignment. One of the student, Taiba, has done it. So we have quite a few of you on board. So okay. First of all, I would be sharing a PPT by one of the student. This is also a way to appreciate the effort. So I'm trying to open it up. I want everybody also to do their assignment so that I'll be able to show your work also. Like we were saying last time, in the last class, we were talking about what a PowerPoint presentation or a keynote. PowerPoint presentation, because most of the users they use Microsoft. The same is available as Keynote, my personal favorite. It has certain added advantages, but PowerPoint presentation, uh, it's opening up. I'm not sure how would we able to make it visible for you. Okay, right. Let me use this option. Right. Let me use. Okay, I'll add another view, and we can do it here. And then we use browser. Internet. This is Safari. Just give me a couple of minutes trying to download the copy so that I'll be able to share it to you. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay. 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 Next time onwards, please make sure that you send little earlier so we are able to prepare it, so everybody don't lose out on time like this. So bear with me just one more minute, it's opening up. So before I show my presentation, I would like to show the students presentation so we can see the difference. Okay, there we are. So now there we are. So we will hide this. I will encourage everybody else also to send their work, so we'll be able to display your work, and I can use your work also in order to teach. So I hope it is showing up now. Right. Okay. So as I had given, what is copywriting? Okay. So I will go through what she has been able to get information from the internet, and then we will see the one I have made it for you guys. As this says, copywriting is act of writing text for purpose of advertising or other forms of marketing. So basically, in other sense, anything in written text for the purpose of advertising or for marketing, whatever is used, it's called copywriting. All right. So examples as it's given, it could be sales letters, product pages. Whenever you go to a website, there will be product page, or if you take a brochure of a college or something, uh, product pages in which the product is defined. Brochures have everything included in it. Pages, they talk specifically about PPC ads, flyers or pamphlets, what we call those things. Then advertorials could be in newspapers. It could also be in on television or on radio. Landing pages. This is specifically for websites. So in websites, whenever you open www.google.com, if you go into adidas.com, they want you to come to one particular page. So that's called landing page. Press releases. Press releases are also very important because in press releases, companies they give out lot of credible information, especially organizations whenever they are launching some product, or if there is some bad publicity about a product. That time also companies do press releases in the AGMs, annual general uh, body meeting. So at that time also, in press through press releases, company launches what is their vision, what are they going to manufacture these years, what are the expansion plans, what are the investments, so on and so forth. So in any of these things where you're trying to communicate, where you're trying to tell your customer what this company is doing or what this product is about, what phase are we in, all these things are related to copywriting, that is press releases. Okay, now let's look at some of the benefits of okay. So it saves time because you reduce the users time to understand what this company or the product is. Like Nike says, just do it. So the word just do it is indicating that with Nike everything is possible. So it is instilling a self belief in you. So it helps you to present quality content. Okay, because not only people, companies also use images. The images are also used in combination with text in order to produce a story. An image, as I told you last class, an image tells a story. So in order to produce mystery, suspense, make people think about what the company and the product is, make it memorable, easy to remember, all these things happen um, by writing effective um, copywriting. I will show you some examples later in the class. Eliminates spelling mistakes or grammatical errors. Obviously, you don't want to be shown that you don't take care of small details, small basics. So, as a company, you don't want to show if it's copywriting, if it is not gone through copywriting and silly grammatical or spelling errors are done. A, it will show you on a poor light. B, it may also convey a wrong message because some grammatical errors may mean something else. Um, Here it is also saying stress-free web optimization. What this means is stress-free web optimization is because if you have one clear message, you might have seen um, across the websites or across the uh, digital marketing portals, Facebooks, LinkedIn, everywhere. If you see the ad of LinkedIn, if you see the ad of LinkedIn, that itself shows you that they use the same LinkedIn logo across everywhere. So it is easy for optimization. So customer can remember that. If I get a chance, let me try if I can show you LinkedIn. LinkedIn. Yeah, let me go to Safari. Let me go to my browser and let me LinkedIn. It's a classic example I can instantly recall. Facebook also, uh, if you look Facebook, 1 minute. It's showing up now. I will set it up, guys. Today it's not popping up. I will keep browser also uh, free for you all, because at times I may have to show you things directly from the browser as well. So if now it is not showing up, let me try once again. Anyway, without wasting further time on this, let me get into what we were doing. All right. So, not one. Right. Generates a convincing copy. We'll come to that later. When I show you, you'll start understanding. Fresh eyes on your organization or industry. Fresh eyes, in the sense it means a new way of looking at it. Connect with potential customers on variety of platforms, obviously, because obviously you have Facebook viewers are different from YouTube viewers, so on and so forth, newspaper, television viewers. So on different platforms you can get to communicate to different people who use different forms of media. Okay, positive benefits and negative benefits is also mentioned over here. Now, the first thing which comes to my mind is that when you are creating PowerPoint presentations, avoid being so wordy. There is no restriction as such of the number of slides you can use. Now, in this, you can see positive benefits and negative benefits. In this, you see the first point is talking about flexibility. The second point is talking about creativity. The third point is talking about fun, being uh, of fun. Whereas on the negative side, see, if I highlight it, I'm not sure if I would be able to. Let me try. Yeah, yeah, there you are. So if I just, okay, let me use an image. Fine. So this is skim reading, guys. This is a reading strategy which will help you in all aspects of your life. If you learn to skim read, you're basically in skim reading, like how in milk, what do they do? Cream is what? Okay, don't worry, I will sort it out. You might be wondering, sir has covered it. So I will. If I reduce the opacity, see, now you're able to see. So this is the keyword in that full sentence. The keyword is flexibility. Similarly, over here, creativity is the keyword I can think of. I can get the message from this. And here, fun is what it is saying. So you could have created an image, writing flexibility on top, and putting an image which shows flexibility. So sometimes you can directly get something very relevant from Google, but many a times you may not get it also. So you may have to think about similar words, you may have to think about its impact, so on and so forth. I will also show you some examples. Now in this, so here it's talking about you may not get paid, and here they are talking about you have to be self motivated, and here it is third point they are saying is it's a stressful job. Okay, so rather than having it worded everything like this, next time try using one word and an image which reflects that message. End of the day, we are communicating. This is a apt way to practice copywriting. In copywriting you will always see there is, deliberately they may put some text, but the highlight will be an image and a few words, a couple of sentences basically, because nobody can read so much, people will lose attention. So as you can see in this sentence, it's about flexibility, creativity, and being fun. That's the positive sides of copywriting. This is talking about whoever wants to take copywriting as a profession. For them, they are talking about this. And the negative thing is that if you're a freelancer, you're not working somewhere, so you may not get paid unless you get a client, unless you do a task or a project, you don't get paid, and you have to be motivated always. I would also say that um you may not get ideas also. Many a times you get stuck, you get a project, but you may not get ideas how to go about it. So that also can be, that's why it's given, it can be stressful. That's the third point they are trying to say over there actually. So now the next slide, basically it's talking about the difference between employed copywriters and freelance copywriters. I'm not going to go into detail of it. It is you can go ahead and read that. Basically, if you're employed, obviously you're working for an organization. You company tells you what to do, and so that's the difference. I'm gonna skip this slide because that's not the point that we are discussing currently. That is the same thing when not only copywriters, any profession for that matter, employed or freelancers basically is people who are not uh, working somewhere. They go out looking for companies to give them their work, to outsource their work. Outsource basically means that, like for example, a doctor's clinic is there. Now they don't have time or they don't know how to do copywriting. So instead of creating their own copywriting material, they ask a professional like you to do it for them. So that is called outsourcing. You are sourcing it outside your company. So that is called outsourcing. And freelancers are get outsourcing jobs, so they are freelancers. Okay, now coming to the next slide, here it is talking about customer focused copy. Okay, I've also included this, it's interesting. Let's see. So customer focused copy, what are the key points one needs to keep in mind? You have to keep the customer first. Okay. um, there are three things involved in any organization: the company who's offering the product and the customer. There are three things. So you should always put the customer ahead of the other two. Now, for example, if I say I'm so big a company, if Reliance says, um, sometimes in certain communications, if Reliance says we are market leader, okay, if we say we are market leader, yes, for to ascertain credibility or to emphasize that you're dealing with the best company in the market or the biggest company in the market, fair enough, that can be given. But to you as a customer, if you want to go for geo network, if they say we are market leader, directly it makes no sense to you. Say, okay, why? So what if you're a market leader? How do I benefit? So that's why it is saying always put customers first. Now here it is talking about the tone, right? The tone over here actually formal, casual, fun, those type of tones they are talking about. We'll get into the tone aspect probably next class, because it's a topic on. But just to understand, depending on what product you're offering, depending on what profile you're talking to, your tone should be right. Okay, like for example, you might have seen um, Huggies, Pampers, or Johnson and Johnson baby powder thing products. They apply to mothers. So the tone over there is what? It's about love, compassion. It's about care. So over there, you might have also seen Dettol or Savlon. I don't remember exactly. Um they they say that we care. So that's the kind of tone. The tone over there is trying to be very motherly kind of thing. Okay, focus on how to solve their problems, because obviously, like I told you the first class also, uh, mosquito coil. I had given you the example of mosquito coil. So mosquito coil was solving the problem which people had. The people had a problem of mosquito bites. So that's the problem you're trying to solve. So copywriting also should also focus on what problem has the product solved for the customer. So it has to mention that. Use social proofs. uh, Social proofs is like we are the leader, or so and so has certified us. Many a times you might have seen in uh, toothpaste ads, they say doctors preferred toothpaste. So that is social proof. If you had got a award or something, people also display that, because that is also form of social proof. Address their worries and needs. I'll come to this part when I'm showing my slides. Um, how do you address their worries and needs? Okay, it's called pleasure or pain points. Customers have got pleasure or pain points. So we have to realize what is the customer's pleasure point, what is the customer's pain points. So probably we'll do an assignment on this itself. Today I'll be sending an assignment pertaining to that. It's one of the most important things, and also about features to benefits. These are the critical things about copywriting or anything marketing, related to marketing, digital marketing, anything. Okay. Call to action. Yes, it's very important. If customer doesn't do anything about it, you don't get money. I have told you this before also. Maybe it's we can never get enough of saying this. Throughout the course I may be repeating the same statement, because unless and until you make the customer do something, you will not benefit from it. So that's why call to action, and digital marketing has got the best thing for that. They have a button which helps them to go to the next level, which I showed in the first uh, episode as well. Okay, research behavioral psychology. It's very important because you're dealing with humans. Human beings psychology needs to be studied so that you'll be able to convey things the way they understand and the way they will act. So that is about understanding behavioral psychology. Okay, so I will throw a little more light when I'm showing you an image later. Speak their language. So speaking their language, also I have an thing. I have an ad example of an ad where you are speaking their language. I will emphasize on that. Be empathetic. What is being empathetic? Empathetic means putting yourself into their shoes, understanding their problems, speaking from their perspective. Okay, like for example, uh, now you are mainly college students, right? So you people have to do a lot of photocopying, Xerox. Okay, imagine I am a Xerox shop or a photocopier shop near your college. Okay, now you people come and stand in long queues, stand in long queues, and the weather is very hot. So now the way I could do is that I communicate to you saying that you can have appointments, you can have appointments to get your work done, showing you an image and saying that save your energy, or avoid the heat, hitting the sun, something like that. So if I say that I am understanding your problem and I am coming up with a solution, saying that in order so that you don't form long queues and have to wait for long hours in the sun to get your work done, uh, this is the solution we have. So that is being empathetic. So things like that, depending on what problem the customer is facing, you think about the customer and then communicate accordingly. Educate the customers. Okay, not all customers will be having all the information about the product, so the aim it should be to give relevant information about the product, about what they can benefit from this, that is how they can save money. Like policy.com, you might have seen, they educate you saying that there are lower insurance premiums. Some of the airlines, they will say we are the cheapest. So there you are saying that we will do a comparison for you, especially uh, third party companies like via.com and so on. What they will say is we will find the right price for you. So here you are educating the customer that there can be a cheaper price to the airfare you're going for. And testimonials is a very important thing because it talks about the user's experience. That's why in colleges also they use lot of testimonials, which is the feedbacks. Think like the customer, we've already told that. Story, tell your concepts. That's the reason, because a story is easy to understand, easy to connect, and people will generally not forget. Okay, so that's about it. Then that's what is given in that slide. Now I will be going little more quicker. Huh. The other way which companies normally do is they try to attack competitors. Uh, but this is negative marketing, and I suggest you refrain from doing that, because it's always better to tell what you are good at rather than telling what somebody is bad at. It has happened where negative marketing has happened, and sometimes the board that controls the advertisements for a particular country, They can also um, issue notices, or the company against whom the name has been used, they can also sue in the court. So it is definitely not a good strategy to uh, go for competitive copywriting. It's better to understand what the company and their products is and focus on that. Uh, that has been always the case. Yes, you can say that we are better than the other company by so and so. You have to use some factual information. Like, for example, if Pulsar and R15, if two equivalent related vehicles are there, you can say our horsepower is greater than this. We move faster, uh, 60 seconds in 5 minutes, 5 seconds, whereas others take 10 seconds, something like that. Some hardcore fact which can be back checked. So something in that case that can be used, that like Airtel sometimes does with Geo, that we are fastest, we are the fastest, things like that. Okay. Okay, now coming to the next point, that is unique selling preposition, USP. Every organization must have a USP. A USP is, as the word unique is selling, unique, that means something which is very different and very special about you, which competitors cannot compete you in that capacity. So USP is what every organization they try to uh, create. That is, in other words, it's called creating a niche. NICHE. Niche is creating a smaller segment within a segment. So every organization will aim to create a USP. Like, for example, I can give you toothpaste examples. Now, somebody will come with a gel toothpaste. In that also they may change color. If one company is using red color, they may use blue color, and they say why blue color is important. So things like that, those are the USP. Like Tata sometime back had come up with saying that salt with iodine, that's a USP. Iodine is required for the human body. So Tata communicated that in their copyright, in their advertisement. They said salt with iodine. Now other companies have followed; they've also added that. But previously, Tata came up with that idea, saying that because salt is salt. End of the day, how do they differentiate? How do they create a USP? They added iodine to it and they communicated correctly. So customer, whoever wanted, even today I remember, maybe see, it has stuck in my mind. Tata salt with iodine. So other thing is that it's a very basic thing, but it is always universal. Always it is important. That is honesty. Honesty is very very important, because you can tell something to someone one time, they may believe you, maybe two time, but uh, time and again, if they feel cheated, then obviously you lose their trust, and eventually you lose the customers, and it is extremely uh, in fact impossible to get back a customer who feels has been cheated. So, and it has been proved time and over again that it is 5 times costlier to get a new customer than to retain existing one. So every organization generally tries to attract customers by lower prices or something. They try to get as many customers as possible. They get customers on board and they try to maintain them. One good example I can give you is of Geo, because it's very relevant. It's latest, the last 2 years back. Geo, when it came into into the industry, Idea had got 10 crore customers in India. At that time, Idea, Vodafone, ASL, all these were very prominent companies. And Geo saw that data usage, they were giving only 1 GB data. So, and people were data hungry. So that is the USP which Geo used, unique selling proposition, where Geo said that one day 1 GB per day and at just 300 rupees, whereas people were paying 300 to 350 for 1 GB data. So Geo used that and penetrated into the market, and in a year's time Joe was able to get 10 crore customers. Initially Joe gave free of charge also, 5 for 3 months, and then increased it to another 3 months, and it got customers. Now it is charging, now it is increasing its price. So that is also one way how companies, they try to attract new customers and get market share. Simplicity, obviously, the more simple it is easier for to read, to remember, to understand. So simplicity has always been the key mantra of all copywriters. From thing, whoever has been doing it, they try to keep it simple. There is a very popular thing, they say less is more in advertising. Less is more. That means the more very simple one color, if you have multiple colors, multiple fonts, multiple messages, so then it becomes completely confusing for client to see. Okay. Now, a little about the tone is also given over here. Let's go through that, and, and then I will share my slides. I think a few more slides are there. So, tone of voice is the way message comes across to the reader. That means how you say it to the reader. How this is done is using the pitch and the inflection. Uh, Basically, it is to create emotions in the reader's mind. Paint a picture. Paint a picture in the reader's mind. So that, how does that happen? Because obviously it's all about writing. So the words you use, the punctuation you use, the font size. Now sometimes companies deliberately, if they want to say about small, they will use very small font. In a very small font they will say small. So as you might have played a game also, a teacher might have done, or at home you might have played this game, where the teacher tells a word and shows an action. So we say sit, and the teacher is sitting. Stand, and the teacher stands. And then after a few times, the teacher uh, changes. The teacher says something but does the other action. So at that time, what happens? People, they will not go by the word, they'll go by the action, and they'll sit down and they get caught. And that's how you filter out who plays out. So this is so critical, so important. If you say small and your font is big, so it is not correlating, it is not communicating the same message. Things like that. Many a time they use a very big font in order to show that the product is gigantic. You might have seen ads where big vehicles, especially the SUVs, they show going through rugged places. Why? Because they want to send a message that it is tough. Things like that. So in that caption, in that copywriting, if you see the ad. Copywriting is not done in isolation. It comes with a video. It comes with various other promotional material of the organization, and it has to match to that. So things like that. So many a times you want to send message that the tone can be, we are authoritative, especially where you want to put down and say that we are the best. So you want to sound authoritative, sometimes caring, like I told you, the mother's thing, Huggies example, and Johnson. There you want to show that you're caring, cheerful. So ads where you see the close-up ad, nowadays the Colgate ad, I think so, Ranveer Singh does it. They'll be in a boring mode, and then there is a sudden mood change. So showing thing, course course is a form of that means hard, coarse, rugged. Okay, conservative. Conservative is where you're trying to save uh, old style of thinking. Conversational, so where they're talking, casual, dry. So these are the different things. Um, about attitude. Attitude, it should be relevant, believable, respectful. Because if you're talking about a product and your language is completely different. Now, if it is pertaining to medicine, a doctor is relevant there. A doctor is relevant there. If you're talking about um, if you're talking about cars, if you're talking about cars, doctor may not be completely relevant. Maybe a racer, will be more relevant to it. Things like that, and it should be believable. You should not make advertising is about making claims. Advertising is nothing but promising. You're saying that we are going to fulfill this promise, so that promise should be believable. That promise should be believable. It should, the other person, using their normal common sense, they should feel that yes, it is possible. So it has to be believable, and it has to be respectful to the customer. There was a ad some time back. I don't know if the ad came in India, but in UK I have seen there are chocolates. They'll say not for men. Very clearly, the copywriting on that, on the bar, will be written not for men. So here you're not disrespecting men, but here you're trying to send a very strong tone, because you are to your target audience, to the women, you're making them feel. In India there was a an ad, why should boys have all the fun. Preeti Zinta did that ad, and after that I think so Priyanka Chopra did that ad, that we can I can think of as of now. Okay, I think so in between there has it has been disconnected. Okay, now coming to the headlines and slogans. Okay, we'll talk about it. I'll go a little fast on this because I have few other slides from my side to show. uh, it has to be straight, simple, to the point. It should be witty, clever, sometimes can be complex also, because in sales they say if you cannot convince a customer, confuse the customer. If you cannot convince the customer, you should confuse the customer. Sometimes if you're talking about something technical, so at that time you can use technical words in order to make it things complex. देख रहे हो उन्हें भी है, उन्हें देख रही हूँ. Okay. As I told you earlier also that uh, I had told you that let the facts speak. I had already told you about this, that many a times motorcycle companies they use this 0 to 60 seconds in 3 seconds, 0 to 60 kilometer per hour in 3 seconds. So this is a fact that it is communicated. Put the user in control. Like you can say that try it, try try it and believe it. Try to believe it. So here you are saying that okay, don't believe it uh, just because I'm saying. You try it so that you can believe it. Airtel has also used this. Make it personal, like using the word you. You is very very emphatic. By using the word you will say that I'm talking about you, because if I'm saying you, when you're hearing, you know that it is I. So that is making it personal. uh, Coding cars. Ask questions that people may think. Yeah, this is called preempt. Like right. Now the next point is, uh, let's see some of the examples. Company taglines, like think different. You see, Apple, because that's their core value that they believe in. That's why Apple always goes way ahead in thinking about the technology that they can offer. That's and that's being honest, because what they say, think different. uh, right from the keys, from the design, from every aspect, they are quite different from the rest of the competition. So they are being very honest. What they say is what the product customer gets. Like Coca-Cola, open happiness. This is a very popular campaign that was run. Whereas helping to the poor, if you remember some of the ads, the workers will be there, the owner will open up for them, family reunion, things like that, open happiness. Because obviously you're opening the bottle, right? You're opening the bottle, and whenever generally Coca-Cola is used during meet, when family meets or feasts and other things. So at that time you're feeling happy. So they are using that communication. See the association they are doing. So these are typical things that companies used. It's so emotive, they're so powerful. Okay. um, right. So how do you do this? What's the structure? You have the I'll come to this point later, because it requires separate dedication towards this. I will be skipping these parts. And once again, I would like to congratulate her for doing a good job. She's covered most of the stuffs which are to be covered. Some of the things I might sound repetitive, but I will be using some images in order to present my information. It's something that you need to catch. Okay, so now we still have about 20 minutes to go. So let me show you. Yeah. All right. What is copywriting? Okay. Um, See, I invariably, whenever it comes to presentation, I use lot of. Okay, here you can see that uh, there are two people. One person is talking, okay, and the other person is listening. And the goal of copywriting is to highlight, as you can see on the right, a spotlight, highlight. It is to get customer to say yes. That should be the goal of a copywriter. It's use of language. Here I've used this image to indicate language. So use of language to highlight the key
benefits so that you persuade the customer to buy your product. That is how the the key is. Actually, I should be removing this. Yeah, the way of communication is like this. So you use words, effective words, language, um, tones, attitude, all those things you put together. That's all part of language, right? Words and tones and attitude, all those are part of language. So use the right language in order to highlight the benefits, whatever message you want to communicate, feel decision. Eventually, your idea is to get the customer to say yes, to buy it, or to stay with you if he's already a customer. So, there are hard benefits and soft benefits. Hard benefits are there are kind of hard benefits and soft benefits. Hard benefits is something which is tangible, which is easy to see. Things like time, money, energy. So in order to promote that, you can use words like, just a second, like you can say faster. If you use faster in your copywriting, what does it mean? That means it will help you save time. And if you say cheaper, it helps you to convey the message. It helps you to convey the message. You can use cheaper or cheapest depending on what communication, based on what message you want to convey. You can use the words accordingly. And you can say more efficient. You might have seen ads like Castrol and other things they use, because there they want to say that it will save energy, or so they use words like more efficient, things like that. So efficiency is part of saving energy, right? So you have to think what the product is, and what is the word that will actually be relevant. In the previous slides we saw being relevant, so that is being relevant. Now if I'm selling Castrol GTX oil and I'm writing copywriting for that, so we will say more efficient. That means it will not, generally in machines there's a lot of wastage, because there is loss of energy. So efficiency means utilizing the energy or conserving the energy as much as possible. That is being efficient. So like that you can communicate, saying that faster, cheaper, more efficient, or most efficient, depending on if you're the best. Or you can just mention efficient. Sometimes you can just say fast. But if you're making a comparison with another company, then you use the comparative degree, which is faster, an adjective. Or if you want to say a superlative, that means among all the others, we are the best. At that time, you can use fastest, or cheapest, or most efficient, things like that. Okay, so these are just examples. In future, we'll do a few real-time examples, so that you get the hang of it, and then we can prepare a list of adjectives that can be used uh, and which industry they'll be applicable for. That also is an activity that I'll be asking you to do, so that you know for which type of companies what type of words are generally used. We can explore that, and we can also create our own table. All right. Similarly, soft benefits. What are soft benefits? So soft benefits are benefits which are not easily seen, but they are felt and experienced. So what are they? Let's try and understand. Like convenient. Now you can see the image is showing the person is purchasing on mobile. The reason is because of convenience. You don't need to get down, don't need to go to the shop, you don't need to drive, don't need to deal with the traffic. All those things can be avoided because the same thing is available from the comfort of your phone, from the comfort of your home, from your phone, and it will be delivered doorstep. So you can use the word convenient in order to mention that benefit. And at times depends on what you're offering, what your product is, what your company is offering. Based on that, you can also relate to being a fun. So that is also like, for example, you're promoting mm, something like amoeba, a play area, or you're trying to promote a theme park, or you're promoting a holiday destination, you're promoting some sporting event, or you're trying to promote an adventurous sport, something like river rafting or skydiving. So, so there you have to use fun words like that, adjectives like that, where that it'll be fun if you associate with it. And if you're into clothing, apparels, if you're into even in laptops, mobiles, where you want to differentiate that we are trendy, we are fashionable, we are the in game guys. So those type of things you can relate to, you can say using words like trendy, fashionable. As the image you see, the same lady looks completely different, with little bit of get up, little bit of change in the way she's presenting herself. So that's how you send a very strong message to the audience, that what are the changes they can see if they utilize your product. uh, so that's how it is. Now now let's see some examples, real time examples, how companies have done it. How have they turned the company features into benefits? Let's look at that. Big brands like L'Oreal, Kellogg's. There's a newspaper company called The Independent. See, L'Oreal. The feature is improve appearance. Okay, if you're talking about the customer, like you might have seen Fair and Lovely and these type of lotions that are offered in India. Uh, this L'Oreal, it's helping to improve somebody's appearance. So what is the benefit? You feel attractive, you feel good, you feel good about yourself. Imagine the day you're wearing new clothes, you're smelling nice, you've had a good fresh bath. At that time you feel good, right? You feel I am attractive. Okay, so over there, here we are writing because you're worth it. I think Sonam Kapoor is a brand ambassador for this, where she says because you're worth it. Here you're instilling that uh, status symbol in the audience, that you're worth it, why don't you try it, it's for you. So like Kellogg's makes noise when milk added. Okay, so it is crunchy, it's nice, people kids enjoy when it is crispy, crunchy. So snap, crackle, pop. So here it is, at that time when you're eating, what happens, that is what they are trying to show over here. They are trying to make the customer visualize, okay, if I'm eating, okay, I can snap it, I can break it. Snap is to break it, crackle it, make that noise of breaking, pop. Okay, so that is possible. The independent, politically neutral. So what is the feature? Here we are not being biased. Nowadays there are a lot of media which is very biased, which speaks only from one point of view. Here the word, the independent, the newspaper itself is saying the independent. So here you want customers to see that we differentiate. Discerning is to differentiate, or to critically evaluate, and we are intelligent also. We have the ability to do it. It is you, are you? So here indirectly we are saying that this is called in group and out group. Uh, like for example, if I say all the clever students understood what I said, if I say this statement to you, all the clever, or if I say only fools wouldn't have understood me. Now everybody has to agree to me. Why? Because if you don't agree to me, I'm saying you're a fool. So that's called an in group, out group. So they are using that technique over here, where it is you. Are you independent, or you're a biased person? Are you intelligent? Do you discern, or you just buy facts just like that? So here they are putting you into a dilemma, saying that you must agree with us, otherwise, you are not intelligent. It is. Are you? They are saying. Now, I've skipped a couple of slides because we've already dealt with that in her presentation. Now, let's see customer focused approach, a real time example. I'm showing you three examples. We still have about 8 minutes to go, guys. I'll just show you a few more slides and then we will be done with it for today. Okay, so now this is a IT company which provides softwares. Okay, now this is called Basecamp. Now see what they have done. They are also, like nowadays you have this Google itself is there, because all of you are aware of Google. It has Google Meet, it has What's Hangouts, it has Google Forms, Google Classrooms. So it's like all in one feature. This company is promoting that. Um get it together. See the word they are using, get it together, because the people, they have to, for one thing they have to use one software, for another thing they have to use another software. See, in this they have group chats, they have to do lists, they have a message board. So there are various tools that come in market. So for one thing you're using one tool, for another thing you're using another tool, for a third thing you're using another tool. So they are saying that is painful for people who are using it. They have to keep multiple windows open, and it's quite difficult, because each product will have its own learning curve. So here they are saying get it together. So they have understood the pain points of the customer, and they are offering a solution to that. They're saying that um, you don't need to go here and there, everything will be available. That's the idea. You go to a supermarket because you don't want to buy one thing in one shop and another thing in another shop, because you know that in a superstore you'll get everything whatever you want. So that's the basic idea they have used in providing their IT solutions. And the message they are giving it out is very clear: get it together. So straight away it hits whoever is the target audience. They understand precisely what this product is about. So that is being relevant, that is being in one sense it's being authoritative also. Authoritative also. And there's another quite an old ad of Rolls Royce. This is one of the premier cars, luxurious. See, it says at 60 miles an hour, the loudest noise in the new Rolls Royce comes from the electric clock. So you're all aware that in night, when everybody is sleeping, TV is off, all other noise is off. At that time, the only noise you can hear is of the clock ticking. That will be the loudest noise. See the detail that they are saying. This is how. This is what turning a feature into a benefit. A classic example where they are saying that our engine make less noise. Instead of saying our engine makes less noise, that is product focused. This is customer focused. The only noise you can hear is the loudest noise you can hear, means you will not be bothered about the engine noise. Maybe at that time the engines used to make a lot of noise. So they came up with this is called a unique selling preposition, which we were discussing earlier. That many cars may not have been able to produce the same feature. So it is very unique to the company. So that is what they are highlighting. All right. So I think there's some buffering that has started. Okay. So we'll end over here, guys. Time up also.